Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Diabetes Digital podcast hosted by Food Heaven. You are tuned in with Wendy, one half of Diabetes Digital. And today I'm going to be talking about chia seeds. I feel like they have been popular for quite some time. They do get a lot of hype in the blood sugar world, and you might see them added to things like puddings, to smoothies, even to water. I have seen a lot of information out there about how it can help with glucose regulation. So, is that actually true? Today, we're going to be breaking that down, what chia seeds do in the body, how they might support blood sugar, and also where expectations can get a little out of whack. Welcome to the Diabetes Digital Podcast. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Jess, and we're best friends, registered dietitians, and diabetes educators.
Through our telehealth platform, diabetesdigital.co, we offer accessible and personalized virtual nutrition counseling for people with diabetes and prediabetes.
Visit diabetesdigital.co, that's C-O, to book your first appointment. We accept insurance and offer affordable self-pay options. Now, let's get into today's episode.
So let's start by talking about what chia seeds are. They're these tiny, nutrient-dense, edible black seeds, and they're rich in a few things. One is soluble fiber, which is what helps to form that gelling effect when it's mixed with liquid. It does have some protein, and it also has healthy fats, including omega-3s, which are great for heart health. That soluble fiber is the big reason chia seeds are getting attention in diabetes conversations. Soluble fiber, it helps to slow down digestion and carb absorption. It can lead to a slower rise in blood sugar after your meals. And when you add fiber, it can also help you feel a little bit more full and satisfied. And all of this can help to reduce those post-meal spikes when you're eating meals that have carbohydrates, which you should be. So how do you use chia seeds in a way that's practical? Because that doesn't mean that we're going to have a cup of chia seeds a day. One way is you can add them to your oatmeal, which is something that my mom does and she absolutely loves. As you're cooking your oatmeal, you can add them in. Also, if you blend your oats, or even if you do overnight oats, you can add them in and it'll help make it a little bit more thicker. You can add it to your yogurt. And, if you're making a parfait, you could do your fruit, your nuts, your chia seeds and your yogurt, and that's also a really great combination. I have done it in smoothies, and I think it works really well because it doesn't gel as much. I'm not a huge fan of the gelling texture just for consistency purposes. I don't like flan. I don't like creme brulee. I'm very weird with textures. So you might like that it gels, but personally, it's not really my thing. So I like to do it in smoothies because you don't taste it as much. It kind of breaks down the fiber a little bit. And so it's not as thick, but it does thicken it a bit, similar to flaxseed. Flaxseed has a similar effect. And talking about flax seeds, just like I'm talking about chia seeds, you should absolutely incorporate flax seeds into your meals, your snacks as well, because it does have similar benefits. With the chia seeds, you can also do chia pudding, which I mentioned earlier. And so you do that by mixing the chia seeds with your milk of preference, including a plant-based milk. And you can include things like cocoa powder or a berry jam or something like that. And you can make chia pudding with those. You can also sprinkle chia seeds on things. So you can sprinkle it on granola, which is something that I've done. And it actually adds a really nice crunch to it. You can sprinkle it on your peanut butter toast, or you can even have it with some fruit if you enjoy that as well. Or if you have a berry jam, you can actually use it to thicken your berry jam, which now that I think about it, I'm wait, I've done that as well. And it works really well. It makes it nice and thick. So that could also be another idea. I do recommend starting small, especially if you're sensitive to fiber, because as we've mentioned before, if you're not eating a ton of fiber and you overhaul from one day to the next, you're probably going to have some gastrointestinal upset. You might get gassy. You might actually get more constipated because you have to increase your water intake as you're increasing your fiber. So just keep that in mind because it could actually do the opposite of what it's supposed to do if you're not gradually incorporating it and if you're not hydrating enough. So let us know how you like to enjoy your chia seeds. They do help to support blood sugar. So back to the original question, yes, it is absolutely beneficial. It helps to slow down digestion. Keep in mind with any of these foods that we recommend, whether it's flax seeds, chia seeds, anything else, even supplements, you always want to incorporate this within the context of a balanced meal that includes all of your macronutrients, so carbs, proteins, fat. It's additive. So if it fits your preferences and digestion, then it can be a very helpful addition. If you want help figuring out what foods actually support your blood sugar without food restrictions or stress about eating, always remember that our registered dietitians are here to help. You can go to diabetesdigital.co. You type in your information, it takes less than a minute, and we can match you with one of our dietitians. We do accept insurance. Most of our patients pay zero out of pocket. So make sure you hop on over there, and I will catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for joining us for today's episode. If you're interested in nutrition counseling with one of our expert dietitians to help improve your prediabetes or diabetes, visit us at diabetesdigital.co.
Also, if you found our conversation helpful, do us a favor and rate and review this podcast on iTunes, plus share with someone who might find this helpful. You can also connect with us on Instagram at diabetesdigital.co.
And tune in every Wednesday for practical, inclusive, and culturally humble diabetes insights. We'll catch you later. Bye.